Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tammy Tuckey Show. My name is Tammy Tuckey, and it's good to see you. After the success of the filmed pro shot of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats that was released on VHS tape, do you remember those? In 1998, Webber sought to film another one of his musicals, but this one would have a theatrical feel and framework. With Donny Osmond cast in the lead, along with an outrageously talented team of dancers, singers, and designers, the musical chosen brought color to the homes of families and musical theater fans around the world. This is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So, to celebrate the 25th anniversary of this film coming up, we have the cast today joining us. So, we're going to bring them on in waves. So, the first wave are the brothers themselves of Joseph. So, here we go. We have Gerry, we have Sebastien, we have Shaun, we have Jeff, and we have Martin. Hello.
oh my God.
Hello, peeps.
I love
Oh, wow.
It's the mayor of New York.
Yes, dog. She's here.
She's there.
I'm with Seb.
That's amazing.
When's the last time you guys all been together? Was it, don't tell me it was 1999. I hope not.
Definitely 1999.
Yeah.
Oh no. Why so long?
I've seen a few people. I've seen Sebastien along the way.
Yeah.
I've seen Shaun. But I mean, Gerry and Jeff are in the States, so
across the
don't
pond.
get over there very often.
We all live in different countries.
And you're the only one throwing a reunion party, so.
Where
Lloyd
the
Webber
heck was
isn't.
Andrew Lloyd Webber? Yeah, what happened there? So tell me about how you heard about this project and the audition process. Did you know Mr. Webber and were able to get it in there, or had you been doing tours or in productions?
I did it in Broadway with Michael Damian, and then that company started in Los Angeles. So there was rumors there was going to be a movie, and then there was rumors that it would be our company, and then when we were on Broadway, that was a rumor. And I was me and Bob Torti in that company that they chose to come to across the pond to do the piece.
Yeah, I had a similar story in that I did what was called the Canadian tour, which starred Donnie. So I had done the show before, and we were the two people from that company asked to do the film video.
And I did the UK tour. I did it for 2.5 years. I don't know how. Mental. And I heard about the project through that. Nicola, she asked me if I would be interested. I was.
I did an audition actually because I'd never been in a stage production anywhere, and I think that was the idea, wasn't it? That everyone in the film would have been in the stage production somewhere in the world, but I guess there were some people that just were not available, and so they held an audition. And I think 2 or 3 of us came via that route, So I just basically got an audition through my agent, and there it was.
Exactly, I was the same thing. Anthony Van Lass. I just turned up to an audition and did a big dance course, sang, tumbled, and got the gig. Hurrah!
So when you guys came together finally, and you met all the brothers all together, what did you think of the cast that you were cast with? Did you know some of the other individuals, or was it kind of like a blind casting where you really didn't know anybody else?
I knew a few people because it was filmed in London as well, and there were quite a few of the dancers. I think like Amanda Courtney Davis. I knew, I'd worked with her before. Shaun, I think that was the first time we met, but I think we've worked together again.
Yeah.
I knew a few people.
Yeah, there's a few legends in there, well-known people throughout the West End.
Yeah, exactly.
And used to
Squeezy, Dan Thomas, Squeezy.
What did you guys think of the cast? Go ahead. Sorry,
superlative. Superlative. They were amazing.
It was so odd because they flew us in to like do a rehearsal before we started shooting. So I didn't know any of. I knew Jeff and I knew Bob Torti, but you're rehearsing with people like from literally like another place. It was really interesting. It was. I remember having a beer during lunch. we don't usually do it in America, but I didn't mind it. It was fun.
Gerry, I remember you in rehearsals going to the craft services and picking up what you thought was an orange juice and necking it, but it was an orange cordial that you add water to, and you were like, oh, Jesus, what is this?
That was the first time on that set that I ever had gave me Red Bull. I think one of the dressers gave me Red Bull because it was 5 o'clock in the morning and we're about to see Coco Joe, and I was twitching. Never.
5 o'clock in the morning. Good Lord!
Oh my God!
Oh, it was a really early start.
Every morning.
Early, yeah.
Why that early?
Well, those poor girls.
That early.
I think the girls that were painted blue were in there at 1 or something like that. I don't know, some ridiculous hour. They were just.
Oh yeah, so a lot of makeup, a lot of clothes.
Because when I was being made up, because I am the palest biblical Jew in history. So basically what they had to do with me, especially during the scenes where we were topless, so Potiphar and the Song of the King, I'd have to have grey put all over my body and then tan all over my body. So they so they had to like color correct the whole of me before I could be released onto the set. Ridiculous.
That's
Lord,
brilliant.
so how much time did you have for just rehearsal in general, or were you rehearsing on the actual sets? How did you guys do that?
It's a bit of both, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was about a couple of weeks rehearsals. For someone who wanted to do the show, I'll never forget trying to learn them colours in the couple of weeks. Red and yellow. Yeah.
And it was overwhelming, I think. I don't know if you felt the same, Shaun, because even though the cast that had done the show had done it in different parts of the world, so didn't necessarily know each other, they knew
the colours.
They knew the story back to front. They'd been in it. It was like they were already a family. And then there was me, you, and I think Nick Holmes. I think there were 3 of us that had never done it before.
Yeah.
And I had no clue whether I was coming or going because also we didn't film it in chronological order.
No.
And I remember those colours. I'm like you. I just thought, not in a million years am I going to get the right order.
But if you look carefully, I sneaked away with one of them because I was like, it was red and yellow and. Blue. I just kept popping up on the words I knew, you know.
Yeah.
Going back to your original question, Tammy, I think what happened, if I remember correctly, there was like maybe a week or a week and a half of music rehearsals.
Yes.
And then there was a break because I know we flew back to the US. And then we came back, and then there were staging rehearsals in a rehearsal studio in what was like Elephant and Castle, maybe around there.
Oh God!
It was the Oval. It was the old ITV rehearsal rooms in the Oval.
Okay, and then we moved to the set, and I can't remember when were we in the recording studio, because I know we had to sing, we had to learn the music, and we had to record the music, and then they prepared the tracks,
right?
So that once we got on the set, the tracks were ready for us to lip sync to. But I can't remember the order of that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was rehearsals, music rehearsals, record, movement rehearsals, studio. I think.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
So did we record like in that first trip over, Gerry?
I think we did.
Huh.
That's a lot of music there too, because the whole show really, there's no said lines pretty much. It's just everything is musically sung. So all of you, the entire cast, you all sang your own parts, right? And did you have any additional singers there? Because I know for the Cats rendition, some of the performers did not do their own singing. They had somebody pre-tape their own vocals. So
we did our own, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was all us. I think the only sweetening in this film was the addition of dancers for Go 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 Joseph, but I don't even think they recorded. I think they just added people for Go 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 Joe.
Yeah.
Well, we have questions from the audience. This one comes from Kaylee. She says, what was it like wearing the wig and beards? I remember being mind blown seeing the transformation in the credits. I agree with her.
My Go 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 Joseph costume was my favorite. I mean, it was like a lattice work jumpsuit, like it was all white, and then you could just see flesh. And then I had like a little Beatles wig on, and that was my favorite transformation for me. We called it the waffle suit.
Mine was hysterical because my sort of long hair was just stuck to the side of my hat. It wasn't a proper wig. It was just I put the hat on and all the hair came down either side.
Yeah,
it was attached.
I think that was everybody, right?
Was everyone like that?
Mine was.
People had. I remember going in and I didn't have a wig, and so wardrobe went around and cut hair from everyone's wig and stapled it into my hat, which was really good because if you remember, it's when we had an eclipse. And it was like one of those rare occasions where it was like a heat wave and everyone was sweating. We had those fans blowing in and I literally could take my hat off in between shoots and just be like, and then just flip it back on for the next bit where everyone was pinned in or, in that sort of situation in that heat. Don't know if you can remember it.
I don't remember.
It was an incredible, I think it was an incredible summer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Mm.
Because we were kind of outside sunbathing in between takes and all of that, it was really hot.
One thing I do remember is I've never laughed so much on a job in my entire life. I laughed from the beginning to the end, and the poor chaps that had to have the moustaches, whenever they laughed, they had to laugh like holding them on like this. Otherwise, they'd peel off and we'd get the wiggies going around, sticking them back down again. It was just so funny.
Let's take a look at one of your scenes. It's just the brothers on stage performing. Here we go with Kane and Days.
Oh God.
Perhaps he wasn't quite that bad. And how we miss his
Yeah.
Amazing.
We can sound good.
And we still look the same.
And you guys were saying there were so many different costumes in this production, and we'll be seeing additional clips as we go along. But some of them I was just like kind of blown away. There was so much effort put into this production. So when you guys got your costumes, what were your initial thoughts? Like, holy cow! Like we're really given some of the cream of the crop that is out there.
Well, for those of us who had done the show before, we were like, "Oh, these again." So
absolutely, I look at that Song of the King thing, but because I used to be on Broadway, I was what is it, a goat or something? I don't know what the headpiece is, but in the movie, I'm a guard, and I am so lubed up. I have baby oil all over me. I'm like, I'm stood up. So, but that's the thing about it. I love the costumes because it's like you didn't have to be like have a 6-pack and all this stuff. They just like it's just a musical, and there's everybody. Everyone's represented. There's no like you have to have 6-packs. You have to look like this. It was just like there's other people and get used to it.
I remember it being quite heavy. That cardigan thing I had on weighed like whoa, just the weight of it. And then having to flip in that later was just like crazy. But yeah, we did it.
They tried to get me to do some of the flips as well, which just wasn't happening. It did not happen.
Honestly, like the costumes were more of an issue, I guess you could say, when we were doing the stage production, because they would get saturated. It was the show when it played in real time was like an aerobics class. So you'd like sweat out this costume, and then you'd take it off as fast as you could and throw on the next one. And then when you had to put the brothers' costume back on, it was wet.
Yeah.
And it's like hard to and they're all quick changes, and you like could barely get your changes done because you were wearing these heavy, wet clothes. So, it was almost a relief to just have to do that costume for a week, while you were shooting, Canaan, and then that costume for a week when we shot Egypt, etc.
How long was the filming process?
I think 6 weeks.
I think I was there 2 months, wasn't I? I think Jeff, weren't we there 2 months or something?
Yeah, but that might have included rehearsals too.
Oh, okay.
I think it was about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Martin?
I think you're right, actually, Sebastien. These are the kind of things that I get blurry on. Is I kind of go, oh, it was this, and then I think no, it was shorter than that. But it was all early starts every single day, including Saturdays.
Yeah. And we went from stage to stage to stage, didn't we? We worked on the 007 stage. Remember the first?
Yes.
And then we did stage C. You're going there. It set up as a school, and it was quite a lot of stages they hired out, didn't they? Big old spaces.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was like the day they did Benjamin Calypso. They were saying that it was like the 007 set or something, and I just lost my mind. I was like, in Pinewood Studios on 007 set, doing a number.
Your number,
my big number.
We did Pharaoh. We did Pharaoh's number on that soundstage as well, didn't we? 007.
And if you remember, down the bottom, they painted like a glass frame, haven't they? And actually, they were shooting through that glass frame to make it look like it was more elaborate than what it was.
Yeah,
right.
So clever. Yeah.
Wow. I wish there was more behind the scenes footage. I can only find so much. And Jeff, thank you for sending the photos. We're going to go through those as well too. But we've got to add the wives to this conversation. So let's take a look at some of their work in the film first. Let's bring them on. Here they come.
Brilliant.
Woo! Nicola.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Nicola. Hi,
Hello.
Jocelyn.
Hi there. How
How are
lovely.
you?
Oh, I have no memory at all.
I feel the same way, Nicola.
I have a bus pass, and that's about it. I just don't remember.
We don't care. We're just happy to see you.
Oh, bless you. No, it's great, the memories. So, talking about it, but I don't remember any rehearsal. I don't, honestly.
Well, do you each of you remember your auditions? Was it more of just a clear dance audition?
Well, I was part of the original London company, and then I joined Gerry and Bob on the Los Angeles tour, and ended up on Broadway. So it had been, I felt like I was a good bit older when I auditioned, like it had been a few years, and so it was a dance audition, and I just remember feeling just so grateful that I got to participate, and it was just such an incredible group of people, and to be able to still do it, I guess. How about you, Nicola?
I don't remember auditioning. I was with Joss in the London show at the Palladium, and I think I must have done 2 years there. It bought this house actually. I remember Pinewood, but I'm getting a bit mixed up because seeing Shaun there. We did.
We've done a couple of things, haven't we? You, and Jocelyn.
Yeah, we did a couple. In fact, we're having another reunion tomorrow for Oklahoma.
Oh, wonderful!
I don't remember anything about that either, but I know you were in it, weren't you, Shaun?
Sorry?
You were in Oklahoma, weren't you?
Yeah. Flipping around again.
Yeah. But I do remember. I remember the singing thing because there was a lovely girl in the London production who did the high note in the One More Angel.
Megan.
Yes, beautiful. And
Meg
she
Kelly.
was, yes, originally, and then I think when she left, I took it over, and I never really thought of myself as the sort of the high soprano, but with a pair of tight pants, it sort of worked. But I do remember being petrified singing whatever that note is, the high note in the sort of studio. You only get one pass at it, but it was great, and I loved it. It was such a fun.
You were so witty. I remember you filming it, and just how incredibly witty you were.
I tell you, the only thing I ever remember was being dared. We had the well, didn't we? The polystyrene well that they were chucking, and it was sort of moved to the side. It was only this small sort of 5-foot thing, and I remember one day, because it was very hot, like you said, and they were having a logistics meeting with all the producers and everything, and it was right next to where this well was being stored. And you dared me, and I did. I got in the well with a glass of water, and they came and had the meeting. And after about half an hour, I poured the water over my head, and then it just came out of the well. Like, and then walked off without saying anything.
Well, I think we have some video footage of that. You ready?
You
Here
are
we go.
kidding. No.
Oh my god!
Classic.
Excellent.
Well done. I'm going to need some Ventolin in a minute.
That's the only thing I remember.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh God.
So brilliant. Well, how about we show another clip of you guys working in the recording studio together? Oh, Gerry's back in. Here we go. Bringing you back in, Gerry. Here's a clip from you guys recording in the recording studio.
I look smart. I am a walking work of art. Such a dazzling coat of many colors. How I love my coat of many colors. It was red and yellow and green and brown.
I know how many colours there are in the original lyric, but actually we missed out a couple we worked out once.
And scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn and lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve. Cream and crimson and silver and rose and
God.
This looked like you guys had a lot of fun filming, and that's why I'm just kind of bummed that they didn't shoot a lot of the behind the scenes of you guys coming back together and just shooting this in general. But what was one of your favorite songs to record and also to finally film in person?
Benjamin Close. No, I think I had the most fun doing Go Go Joseph because there was extra dancers and so we were like in what we were like in had robes
like disco
on
wear,
before,
weren't
like,
we? Like,
you know, what did we have? That was
like disco costume type thing.
Disco costume
from the era from.
Yeah, but we had like
when we were in the jail cell.
We were in the
those
jail,
robes.
so we were all
right, yeah.
you know, you could just walk around and go like, "Hey, how's it going?"
And then you did your big reveal.
And then you got to reveal.
I love doing the hoedown. I just love that partnering. It was so fun.
Oh,
Doing the hoedown.
Yeah, I like Go Go Joseph as well. My costume was amazing. It was like psychedelic sort of 60s vibe. I think it was like a jumpsuit all in one, black and white. And yeah, we just had a lot of fun on that number, I think. And like you say, there were loads of other dancers brought in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I wasn't going to pop in until 2 minutes later, but here I am.
Oh my God.
I also
Lisa.
remember, I think in that, what do you call it, the Go Go Go, I think I was dressed a bit like Pocahontas. I never forget I had like long brown hair, forever like getting stuck in my face. And little gold, I think I had no top on or a little waistcoat or something and gold pants. It was crazy.
Tammy, you have visual proof of that.
I do. Should we show it?
Oh, man.
He's like, oh boy, here we go. Hold on, let me bring up our stream here. So we're going to show some behind the scenes photos that Jeff showed. We'll go through them. They're all kind of out of order, but this is behind the scenes. You guys are you guys staging before filming?
Yeah, Potiphar.
And then we have what you guys looked like.
Wow.
These costumes were amazing. But
It's controversial. I remember it was quite controversial.
Yeah.
They wanted to change those, didn't they? They had to change him to that.
Yeah,
Thanks
they
to
wanted to
Donnie.
take away the flesh mesh, and I think Donnie advocated for us to keep the flesh mesh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running around.
Right.
It's quite racy.
Recording studio day.
Oh my goodness.
Look at my jazz hands right in the middle.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my God. That's when you realise how old you've gotten.
I know.
Sab.
Wow.
Great shot.
Oh my
There it
God.
is.
Look.
Brilliant.
Pocahontas.
Safety helmet.
That's amazing.
Just seeing this up close is really great because the scenes go by so quickly and you can't really press pause and see how amazing you all look. You look fantastic. So this is such a treat.
Wow.
Wow.
Joan,
What was it like to work with Joan?
You know what? If I could speak to that, my memory of Joan, she was lovely, and she came out ready to go, and we were all made up. And I remember she then disappeared and came back with a whole different look of her makeup. She just was gorgeous, I thought. But
oh my God, she was stunning. She had an assistant, and an assistant for the assistants. Had like 4 people around her.
My memory of Joan, and I will be forever grateful, is that we had been shooting for like a week or two before she got there, and we had a caterer that was okay, and she got there, And she was like, this catering is unacceptable.
Oh.
And you need to hire a better caterer. And they did. And the food went from to amazing.
Yeah.
And it was her. It was all because of her.
Yeah, I remember that. She knew where her lights were as well. When she got brought to set, she'd get on there and, you know, they'd light it. And on the odd occasion, she'd go, oh, because this light was too bright, you know. And she knew exactly how she wanted herself lit almost, you know.
She looked fantastic in that. And you just made her even more fabulous with being with her in that scene. So that was pretty great. So now we have somebody else we're going to have join in, but we want to show his segment first. It's the Pharaoh himself. Let's take a look at his moment in the show. Here it is.
I don't hate the good one man that came up from behind. Yes, they did. But Joseph, here's a punchline. It's really gonna blow your mind. Flip your lid. Because the bad one was as bad as it had ever been. Well, this dream has got me all shook up. Treat me nice, tell me what it means.
Okay, I think he's here. Bob?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
There you. We can't see you, or are you? But you can hear us, right?
Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
come on,
The
hair.
big reveal.
What are you people doing on my computer? I was trying to log into my OnlyFans page.
Ridiculous.
How is everybody?
Good, thank you.
Doing good.
So good to see you.
You too. You too. Yeah, the hair's I haven't cut it since the shutdown, so there you go. So I've learned one thing, how not to cut my hair. I haven't learned anything else.
I think you get the best set in the film.
Oh, I
honestly,
do.
you have that. I remember because if you look closely, if people watch your scene back, the eyeballs on the Sphinx move with the song, and I just love that like other technical aspect. But so cool. And then you have the gates behind you. I didn't notice this until today. The gates are supposed to be like the gates of Graceland, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, no, that was I've had two amazing entrances. Well, actually three. That one is like top three. The other one was my entrance as Greaseball in Starlight Express, from 3 stories up and trying to stop on a dime, which I never did. And then the other one was the movie version of Reefer Madness, where I literally fly in on the cross as Jesus. So,
I love that one too.
yeah.
Well, what were your memories of kind of joining in? Because you really technically only have this one big major sequence, and then also the school scenes.
Yeah.
So were you kind of coming in and getting to know the whole family?
I played a lot of golf. I think I was there 2 weeks, and I shot 3 days. So I had some really good guys that I met at these local golf, because I'm a big golfer, local golf clubs, and I just, they called me up, hey, can you play? I got to film. See, try tomorrow. But no, it was amazing. And plus, I mean, come on, Pinewood Studios, that was like bucket list. Yeah. It was amazing. And then to see the setup too, because I remember when we shot the Masters, I forget the camera that they were using, but that thing was literally 100 yards away. It was
Wow.
crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
Were they filming on film still? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Nice.
I
Again,
think
another
there was-
reason.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
around the camera they had actually, I believe it's like the old school. I think they had the glass, the lens was painted for a landscape.
Yeah, the map.
Yeah,
painting in front of it.
yeah. It was wow. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun.
And it was unusually shot in that they had like 8 cameras going all the time.
Yeah.
We didn't do setups. They basically had every camera on all the time.
Yeah.
And we did each number about sort of 6 or 7 times as well, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember that too. This way, so better light this way. I'm in the
Yeah,
break
I was
room.
going to ask how they did that, because some of the shots are just so seamlessly edited together, and it looks like they're all in one shot. Except when I was watching Joan's song, there's a shot where, Gerry, you're behind her, you have your glasses, and then there's another shot you don't have your glasses.
Oh my God, continuity, people, continuity. And Lisa and I did the hoedown together, the dance. Lisa, at the end of the shot they kept, you do the cartwheel and your skirt goes over my head. And they kept it in. I was like, wait a minute, what? So you guys watching, just look at the end of the hoedown and you'll see Lisa's skirt over my head on the bus.
I remember that. Oh my gosh. You know, I watched the hoedown recently and I couldn't pick myself out. I get all the cuts are so fast.
Yeah.
That and the very first number where we had like sewing machines on our heads. Remember that? When we were introducing we all look the same.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's me. Oh, no. Oh, no, there's me. No, is that me? I couldn't tell. Yeah, but no, that's a dead giveaway. I remember that happening to you.
It's the worst.
We'll always have that memory.
Well, since you mentioned the opening number, because we talk about the wives and Jacob. So what was it like working with the Richard playing Jacob?
For me, it was a dream come true. I mean, he is Santa Claus. So as you know, I had a little badge from when I first went to see Miracle on 34th Street, and I flashed him that a couple of times. Said, "I believe," and he goes, "Oh dear boy." He always used to say, "Dear boy."
I think he did it for his grandchildren. Do I remember that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was going to say he felt like the grandpa on the set.
Yeah.
He was very grounded and kind, lovely man.
Lovely.
Yeah.
He was. It was like royalty, really, arriving the day he arrived on set. I was just like completely like in awe.
Yeah.
You know, because especially us in this country, you know, that in the UK, you know, Sir Richard Attenborough, the first knighted person that I worked with, you know, it was a big deal.
I never forget, he always used to open the door for people and after you.
He was so warm, wasn't he? So warm of spirit, you know.
I don't think it was very good with name day, wasn't it? All darling. And like you said, Martin, darling boy. Thank you,
darling boy.
Yeah.
Did you guys, as the brothers, did you get a nice shot of just the brothers and Jacob together? Because I haven't been able to find any, you know, staged photos, at least, you know, from on set, of just you and Jacob.
I don't remember.
They may have taken some officially, but they may have not been released because, you know, we weren't allowed to take cameras or anything like that on set, really. And also, it was the days before, you know, you could just go click with your iPhone. So it was that long ago.
Yeah. I think it's more like a...
Yeah. And off to the chemist.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad. Jeff, you have these great shots too. So let's look at some more.
Jeff, where have you got all these from?
I definitely had a camera on set. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't make out who that is in the.
Oh, I think you can.
Martin.
I think it's Bob and Shaun in the background.
Yeah, there's Martin at the front.
That's Martin at the front. My screen is too small on my phone.
The waffle suit.
There it is.
Did I not see you out on a Saturday night? Oh, brilliant.
See, like you can tell, my wig was totally in my hat.
Yeah.
Look at my tan.
That's
my
great.
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that's one of the school teachers, wasn't it? At the beginning.
Jocelyn, what were you called with that sofa head?
I don't recall the square-headed thing. I don't know.
Princess.
It's like a cake platter.
Oh yes, that's right. Something princesses.
The
Yeah.
princess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I remember the makeup was incredible. We had gold shimmer, and it was so fun to be paired up with my dear friend Amanda. I just loved working with her.
She's an amazing dancer.
Yeah, in person.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going into makeup.
There she is.
In character.
Oh, Nicola.
Which one?
That's Nicola Trahan, isn't it? That's the Trahan's the assistant in the middle.
Yeah, she got sneakily into the shot, didn't she? One of the teachers. Yeah. I remember Nick was supposed to be looking like one of those very dodgy gym teachers.
Totally.
Yeah, very dodgy.
Oh,
bless him.
Oh, oh my God! And everyone's so tan. Oh.
So who are the two gentlemen on the left-hand side?
All the way to the left is Stephen Pimlott, the director of the stage production and co-director of the film. And the guy in the middle, his name is Andy Pachetta. He was kind of like the producer, I guess you would say.
Wow, you've got a good memory there.
Yes. Oh, Nicola.
Nicola.
And Anthony.
I saw a picture of her recently, and she has not aged. She looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
she's got a picture in the attic. She looks stunning.
I saw Anthony about a few months ago. The opening of Bat Out of Hell here. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Oh, and for those of you who don't know who these people are, that's the choreographer with the cap on, Anthony Van Last, and that is his. Well, does she still? Is she still his associate?
Yes, she's working with him now all the time.
Wow, her name is Nicola Trahan, and longtime associate of.
To the when you began with the gentleman that joined the show or that hadn't been in the show before, and how everyone knew all the choreo. You know, we all had this common ground. It was because of Nicola. She traveled the world and just set all that choreography again and again. She was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's worked with Anthony all through her career. It's wonderful. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh wow. Getting ready, right, for the warming up.
I don't remember doing any of that.
Is that Lucy Pankhurst and Zoe?
Yeah.
That's Zoe, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe. That must be Go-Go Joseph days because we had extra dancers, didn't we?
Yeah, maybe.
No, those were all wives. Those were our wives.
Yeah.
But
so we have another question from the audience. Did you have a lot of fun pulling all the extravagant facial expressions?
Is that
Gerry,
what we're calling
do you
them?
want to take this one?
That's good. I received it. My spotlight. Extravagant facial expressions.
My favorite is during Benjamin Calypso. Donnie, he can't keep a straight face, and I'm like doing all this stuff to him and going, you know, in his face, and he's like smiling. I'm like, Donnie, you can't smile. You're supposed to be mad at me. You're supposed to be mean. He's like, I can't help you. You have to do it.
Yeah. Do you remember in the first part of Go 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 Joseph, we were all around the jail? Yeah. And do you remember that we kept on, I don't know, something happened and you can see it on our faces as they pan by. We're all laughing, putting our heads down and corpsing. I can't remember what set us off, but it got in the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all laughing in that scene.
There were quite a few situations like that, though. I never forget, before we popped up from behind a wall, we were literally gone.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was just, and then we all had to pop up all serious. Oh, it was hysterical. It was really funny. But again, people behind the wall were laughing like so they would come off before the take. Oh god, very funny times.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly Gerry's fault though, wasn't it?
Always.
I never laughed so much about. I think that's the most fun I've ever had doing a job. We laughed every second.
Do you remember what you used to say every time you entered a room?
What did I say?
First of all, hello.
Lord, I cut it down now. I just go, yes, hello.
And then, Gerry, do you also remember what you would say at 2 o'clock in the morning when we're leaving the bar?
Oh no!
Where are we going now?
Oh my God, Torti, don't tell anybody. That's my secret.
Well, Kaylee says, why can't we find the movie soundtrack anywhere? And that's a good question. Did they ever tell you that they were going to release the soundtrack along with the film?
And they did release it. You can, but it's not available anywhere. It's like it's been like it was a limited release, and so I mean I have it.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
I would love to stream
You can't
it.
get it anywhere now.
You sure it's the right cast?
Oh, it does. It's got the adjusted mega mix.
Which
Maybe
I love
it's on
too.
Spotify. Is it not on Spotify now? That classic.
I was actually sad that they didn't shoot the Megamix, even though it would have been torturous. It would have been fun to have forever.
I don't look good in white, though, darling. Not with those hips. No.
Well, here's some more behind the scenes clips I found online. So here, let's take a look.
To the interpretation that leads. All your lives have been a misery in the court ever since he's had these bloody dreams. So it will just free it up a little bit, make it more about listening and a little bit less choreographed. Jelly.
Joseph was an unimportant slave who found he liked his master, consequently worked much harder, even with devotion. Potiphar could see that Joseph was a cut above the average native leader of his house of maximum promotion.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
What was that a part of? The making of or something?
There was like a little 30-minute segment that was attached to, I don't think it was on the VHS tape that I had, but apparently on a further release, they were doing kind of like a reference to all of these schools now doing the show and like, you know, kindergarten or first grade or, you know, fifth grade or anything like that. And then they showed like really small segments of you guys behind the scenes. And I was like, I don't want to see these children doing the show. I want to see these guys doing it. So they're just like little fun things in there, but that's pretty much all they had of what was going on behind the scenes, which I was really bummed to find that. But looking at all of the costumes and props and sets, did you guys get to keep anything?
I have the wig. and the blue suede shoes.
Oh.
And then I have the microphone from the Broadway production. So I'm going to get those mounted up and put away. The one thing I did notice, literally after each shoot, and this is true with any studio, you know, the sets were just stunning and gorgeous. But when they were done with it, it was outside in the trash. It's cheaper.
No.
It's cheaper to throw it away than it is to store it. It was, oh man, yeah.
That's killer because again, the set it just looks so beautiful and everything. So I was wondering what your thoughts were on they just announced, I think maybe a couple months ago, they're going to do another film version of this. And I think it's just ridiculous at this point because they already tried it with Cats and it did not go well. So what are your thoughts on them trying to do this again?
My phone hasn't rung. Anybody else's phone ringing?
I think this is a better idea than Cats because it involves people.
Okay, that's that Cats movie. Oof. That's
painful.
I mean, okay. Try to be kind.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't, because I did, here in Vegas, I did the stage version of Rock of Ages and then saw the movie and was like, oof. How do you screw that up?
Right.
That's why I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe you could just remaster the version you have that's pretty spectacular and just reissue that.
Well, let's see.
And that's what they...
Let's cast it. So Joseph's going to be Harry Styles.
Oh, God.
The Pharaoh will probably be Brad Pitt.
Oh, my God.
Come on. See, now you all want to see it, right? Yeah.
That would be quite interesting. Although somebody suggested it, like, well, if they're going to do another version of it, maybe they should do something, more animated, because the only other version of it was from, I think, DreamWorks, and it is not very good. And then Ben Affleck is Joseph. So take with that what you will. So do you guys think that, I think it's one of those shows. I know a lot of community theaters get to do it. Have you guys ever gone to a community theater production and they kind of pinpoint you, like, oh my God, it's you? Because I'm sure most of them look at your version of the show as a reference, just to see what exactly you guys did.
California 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Kelly Rabke was.
You're cutting out, Gerry. Can you say that again?
Oh, Kelly, I just directed it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah.
I directed it and choreographed it in La Mirada, California. I think it was like 4 weeks ago. And Kelly Rabke, who was our narrator on Broadway, she did it. So she hadn't sung it in 30 years, and she sounded amazing. It was amazing. And the audience went bananas. It's so wild to see that it still has that same effect. Because when we did it in LA, and we would leave the stage door, and I felt like I was Madonna. Like you come out, like, wow, there's people were screaming. And same thing, 30 years later, it still holds up, and it's just a joy fest.
Oh, and for people who don't know, we have two distinguished director choreographers amongst us right now. Gerry and Lisa are both having flourishing careers as directors and choreographers.
Oh, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Awesome. Well, what has everybody else been doing as well too? Please tell us a little bit more. Like, what has been up?
Directed. Oh my God, now I can't remember the musical. Jeff, here.
I didn't hear the beginning of what you said.
Maria Friedman is.
Merrily, we roll along.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did Merrily with Maria,
and she got a Tony now.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
It hasn't hit Broadway yet. It's on Broadway this fall, I think.
Oh yeah, got a Drama Desk nomination. That's what.
Everyone's
Sebastien,
a director.
Everybody's a director. So why don't you start off, Sebastien? What have you been doing since 1999? I know it's probably a lot.
1999. Well, I've been super lucky because I've traveled quite a bit with work as well. So I've been to Japan a couple of times. I shot an Italian movie for Italy, and we went to Vegas for 3 weeks, which I guess is probably unheard of unless you're doing a show there, because most people go for a long weekend or something. But we went for 3 weeks and we shot in and around Vegas, which was that was really, really awesome. That was an amazing experience. And I've worked with Anthony and Nicola as well, like on the Mamma Mia movies, and done lots of different shows in London and around the country. And I'm currently in this little room in a place called Chichester, which is a city about an hour and a half south of London. And I open in a new musical in about a week's time. And we're rehearsing, which is why I wasn't sure whether I'd make it tonight because I thought we might be rehearsing tonight, but we were done at 6. So
Yay! I'm so glad you're here.
yeah. So yeah, I've had an amazing time, and then some really random things, like do you know Elizabeth Hurley?
Yeah.
People in the States. Well, I got this really random job where I had to choreograph her wedding dance in India.
Wow.
And it was like and it's just such a weird industry because you just don't know what's going to happen next. And I just got this phone call to see if I'd be able to choreograph this dance for her and her friends. And the British people will know Janet Street Porter. She was one of the dancers. It was an absolute nightmare because she really which foot to use next, and I had to go to her place and rehearse with her. Anyway, it was an amazing
Wow.
And sometimes they're like the best gigs, the ones that take you abroad and you get to see the world.
That's awesome.
You have like 17.
Sorry?
Don't you have like a lot of kids?
A lot, yeah. I have all the brothers. I've got 3 kids. And one of the things that I remember, about Joseph is the fact that my eldest son, he was about 6 at the time, and they put it on at school. And he didn't know. I mean, I don't know if he was even aware what I did. And apparently he in the class, he went, I think that's my dad. What are you talking about? And he looks a bit like me as well. Well, he looks very much like me. So, and then the teachers had to come and ask, and they were like, oh, we're really sorry. We hope, it wasn't an issue or anything. And we were like, no, it's cool, And then he came home and he was like, Dad, are you in Joseph? I was like, yeah, I am, because of course it was done before he was born, But yeah, it was funny.
And Jeff, I got to see you and Hercules at Paper Mill Playhouse, which was a treat. Yeah, because poor Jeff comes out of the stage door and we just go, Jeff! My friends and I were like, hello! Because I was like, I couldn't believe I was reading the program and Jeff's name was in there. And I was like, oh my God, it's him, because I just love, this is like I watched this all the time as a kid on VHS tape. And apparently when I posted about this interview, there were many other people that were messaging me like, what? Are you kidding? I can't wait to watch. So that was really cool. And just to see you perform live was such a treat. So you've been doing Hercules. What else have you been up to?
I mean, it's so random. The odd TV job, the odd theater job, the odd song written here or there. And but mostly I call myself a real housewife of New Jersey.
And dog daddy.
And a doggy daddy. Yeah. I mean, COVID really changed me. I was New York for life until COVID. And then I was like, no, I think I'd rather be in not New York. And so I'm a real housewife now.
Martin, what about you? You helped facilitate this too. Both you and Jeff were a great help in making this happen. So what have you been up to?
I'm an enabler. I've been. I did the world tour of Chicago as Amos. I did Merrily with Maria. I did Wizard of Oz at the London Palladium. I've done quite a bit. Most recently, I did a European tour of Cats as Old Deuteronomy, which was great because I only had to sit on the tire. Didn't have to dance. Right. None of that flinging your legs around nonsense. So that was fun. But yeah, I've just kept working. I unfortunately right now I'm recovering from COVID. I had COVID about 6 weeks ago, and it just will not go. So I'm sort of like it's hanging on. But other than that, I'm fine. I'm dog daddy, the same as Jeff. I have 3 Frenchies because I'm that gay.
And then Nicola, why don't you tell us about what you've been up to?
Oh gosh. Well, I suppose in 1999. Gosh, what happened then? Oh, I know. Yes, because it was Oklahoma, wasn't it? I went into at the National with Shaun, and we did that, and then it transferred, and we did a film of that as well, which we're going to see tomorrow afternoon.
The Hugh Jackman one, right?
Yes.
Love that one too.
Yeah, it's a great film. Great film. And then I was. Oh, that's right. And then I had a child. Right.
We were. That was when we worked together. Was Nicola?
That's right. We was in what was it?
Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls. Guys and Dolls. That's right. And I got pregnant and I was right near my sell-by date. So it was a sort of it was like an amazing sort of in my 43rd year, and I stayed in the show till for 7 months. As a and they kept expanding my waistband and sending people in to check that I wasn't showing, which I wasn't, and that was it. And I named him Nathan after.
Aww.
Yeah, so my lovely Nathan is 17 now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So yeah, but then no, I kept my hand in with review. I do comedy with, can I just say, the most fantastic composer in the world that is just above me here. No, to that side there. Mr. Jeff has his music, I can't tell you, is just fabulous. So, in review, we do. I'm actually doing a one-woman show about someone you will never have heard of, but she was an English comedienne called Joyce Grenfell. And darling, yes. So really, I'm just talking like this all the time now because I'm doing Joyce Grenfell in a one-woman show. So that's what I'm up to, and using my bus pass. But I can still do that. Wow. It never leaves you. Well, Jocelyn will testify to that. There she is.
I don't think I can get it up there.
We were in Cats together in the same dressing room. Well, I say dressing room. It was more like a cupboard, wasn't it? Really,
yes.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
So yes. Oh, happy days they were.
Yes, I do adore you. Yeah, very much so.
Yes, that was wonderful. So yes, it's been a long old haul, but we're still there, which is amazing.
Jocelyn, are you still performing too?
Well, I would say in the years following, I carried on working in shows in the West End and stuff, and I came back to America, and I live in Grants Pass, Oregon, and here I performed and I choreograph and direct here locally, but probably my big passion right now is I'm president of a nonprofit called Fusion Performing Arts Alliance, and we do outreach and training and scholarship for the underserved kids in our community with training in the arts, especially dance. And we've just opened a facility in our area a year ago, and just so I work very hard at that. It's tremendously rewarding. And I too, like Nicola, got pregnant on the job right after 9/11, actually. And the show I was in, Witches of Eastwick, closed, and got into Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I hadn't danced in a long time. Anyway, but Nicola, I showed immediately, and I got bigger and bigger and bigger. And Gillian Lynn hid me behind the car and stuff like that. Chitty, and they finally, anyway, it was tough. But he's 20 now and sings himself,
wow.
but he's a beautiful singer. But he's going to school for math, and
he's got a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. And,
you teach as well, though, don't you? You teach.
Yes, I teach ballet.
And one of your students is rather hugely famous, isn't she?
Oh, she's actually one of my sister's students. Her name's Misty Copeland, and she's with principal dancer with the American Ballet Theater. Yeah, and she has a wonderful story, and my family is a piece of that. She, my sister, discovered her at the Boys and Girls Club, which is like an after-school type program, and took her into their home. And anyway, she became the first African-American principal dancer with American Ballet Theater.
Wow.
And is an incredible individual, and is still very close to my parents and my family. And yeah, so there you go. I knew her. I was living in London at the time, so I saw her, every time I would come home. But it's really my sister and her husband, Cindy Bradley and Patrick Bradley. It's their triumph. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, maybe that's my
Okay,
story.
Shaun, you're up.
Oh, right. I am just really lucky, really, afterwards, because I just went, after we did the Oklahoma film, didn't we? Then I did the Jesus Christ one. And then I think I did Witches of Eastwick with Jocelyn. And then that transferred. And then lots of other stuff like Anything Goes, Lord of the Rings, My Fair Lady, just went on. And then my body sort of went like an old car. I was a bit like that when I was working, 100% all the time. Then right at the end, it's like pink, 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 pink. Meniscus gone, meniscus this side. So 3 meniscus operations, 1 this side. I was like, it's time to sort of cool down a little bit. So went into teaching and choreography, still get that urge inside. And I think it was about 2 years ago, I got a phone call saying, would you be interested in taking part in a film? And I was like, but I was due for 2 steroid injections in my knees, which make me feel like a 17-year-old again. And I was like, my knees are feeling good. Yeah, go on then. So I jumped on the new Wonka film that's coming in and did one of their dancers in that, played a few characters. So yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
That's it, really.
Yeah, that trailer just popped out. Oh, this is
looks
amazing. I want to
amazing.
go see it just for you, Shaun.
Yeah, so you might see some old fat middle-aged man tapping in the background. That's what I'm saying.
We did Paddington as well, didn't we?
Oh, Paddington, yeah, Paddington.
Yeah.
Great film, yeah.
That
was another
crazy
fat
number.
middle-aged man tapping in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
In our
that one too.
Pink outfits.
Then number 3's coming out now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's it really. I've been very, very, very lucky, and now I love teaching and passing it all on to the next generation, and choreographing things at colleges like end of year shows and things which I've just done. Dirty Laundry from Witches of Eastwick actually at one of my colleges. So yeah, all good.
Very good.
And Bob, my sister was like, you have to at least mention Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, because not only do we remember you from Joseph, we remember you as Zach and Cody's dad. So she's like, just make sure you mention it. I was like, okay, of course.
It's so funny. It's like, along with all of you, I've been doing this 45 years, and I've had a very blessed career. I've worked with, opposite Michael Landon, Angela Lansbury, Tom Hanks, it goes on and on and on. And because I did a kid show on Disney, I still can't go to the mall today. The demographic has changed. When I first started, the boys were 11. Well, they're both 29 now. So you see how it goes up. And a good example, I live in Vegas, I had taken a staycation at Red Rock with my wife and daughters. And we're out by the pool, and about 15, 22-year-old girls in bikinis come up and say, oh my God, I loved you on the show. You're this. Can I please take a picture? I went, no. You need to put something on because this ain't happening. Here's me with all these. Yeah, no, it's been that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It happens. I right now I manage 2 art galleries here, pop art galleries in Vegas. And how that happened was when the pandemic hit. Prior to the pandemic, I had my own show that I was hosting on CNBC called The Filthy Rich Guide, where we made fun of the top 1%. And I was also doing Rock of Ages here. So I do 8 shows with Rock of Ages, get on a red eye, fly to New York, shoot 18 hours, get back on the plane, come back for Tuesday night show, and did that for forever.
Wow.
And then my family was still in LA. So on the weeks that I didn't fly to New York, 8 shows, get in the car, drive home to LA, see the family for 24 hours, fly back. Did that for about a year, to the point where I finally said, screw it. But 1999 is actually when I got married. So we just celebrated 24 years married. Since then, my son was 10. He's 33. He's getting married in January.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Destination wedding. Anyway, he's doing great. And then my wife and I, we actually adopted our first daughter. We had tried many times trying to get pregnant and just, kept having miscarriages. So we gave up. We went to Houston one weekend. We were there 3 days. Got there on a Saturday. Went to church on Sunday, and my wife's father was a deacon in the Baptist church, so he has a lot of friends and stuff. And they were like, "Are you still trying to get pregnant?" Says, "No, ma'am, we're trying to adopt." And the woman says to my wife, "I know a family." So met the family the next day. 3 days later, they said yes. 6 weeks later, she was born. So we named her Faith, because we found her in the church, right? About a year goes by. I get a call from my lawyer. It's like, "You want another one?" I'm like, "You got one?" It's like, yeah, I'm pregnant again. Okay. So they're biological sisters, 18 months apart. And they're both now 19 and 20.
Wow.
The only reason this happened, the family that knew the birth parents were on vacation. The husband suffers a mild stroke, which cuts their vacation, which puts them back into Houston and into church on the day that we were there. That's the only way that happened.
Wow.
So that's awesome. I kind of stepping away since COVID because I suck at self-tape and I can't book anything. It's just one of those things. I had gotten my real estate license and I was specializing in getting actors out of their apartments, and I was very successful. COVID killed that. We had a production company in Vegas. They got these cool little rooms, about 350 seats, and they're for clubs at night. So I had a friend of mine who was one of the GMs, and I said, "Hey, I have an idea. You got 5 minutes." So I go to his office and I say, "Look, anywhere from Friday to Sunday, you got people coming on property during the day. There's like 1,000 to 3,000 people just to eat. So why not entertain them?" So we started a corporation called Brunch to Broadway. So we did. It was basically an hour show of all Broadway tunes. And our story, mine and my wife's story on how, we met and all this stuff. And I was the butt of all the jokes. And that took off. That was my contract. I think I was supposed to bring 50 people on property, and it turned into 600 people every time we performed. So that was going good. And then COVID happened. And now what do you do? I got here because one of the artists is a friend of mine. His name is Jimmy Mulligan. He's a Disney artist. And he had said, "I know it's family owned. They're really cool out of New York. So they're looking for people, to work in the gallery." And I said, "What the fuck do I know about art?" And he said, "Well, you've been selling yourself for 40 years. How hard could it be?" So it's been 3 years. I'm now manager. I got quite the clientele and I enjoy it. It's really cool. So that's
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the pandemic, because I was just going back and during that time they started releasing some of the pro shots of different films for free for a while, and Joseph was one of them. And I just remember feeling so happy just watching it again, and it was just a surprise that it was online for free, and I just saw it and I just watched it, and it was really wonderful because you kind of were like taken away from everything happening in the world at the time. And I wasn't the only one, because there was like millions of people watching it for free online. Did you get any additional followers or anybody messaging you saying, "Oh my gosh, I just watched this again," or during that time?
What's crazy is, the Sweet Life, the majority of them only know me from that. But when they find out that, "Oh, you were in this too. Oh, you were in She's the Man. Oh, you were in The Game Plan. Oh, you're Mr. Downtown." So then it just kind of goes on and on and on. And because of that, actually, it's probably once a month, I'll have a high school or a college director reach out to me, DM me saying, "Hey, we're doing Joseph. Would you mind giving the cast a little pep talk?" So I do that. That's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I have some more photos that Jeff has here. Let's bring up some of those. So we had this one, obviously.
Oh boy!
Oh wow!
Let me tell you a quick story. So my wife still tells this story. So the makeup, like you were saying, was spectacular because they were shooting in HD, right? So I'm in the makeup trailer, and I'm a guy, and I'm Italian, and the makeup artist says, "Do you mind if I pluck these hairs right here? Right between my eyes?" I said, "Not at all." She says, "Do you want something to numb it?" I said, "Lady, please bring it on." I never cried so hard. I don't know how you do it, because that's like, that area there was no joke. So that was my pruning story. So look at that nice shine right between there.
Oh.
Jeff, who is this? Tell us a story.
This is Mike Reed, the king of music for Joseph.
Yeah, and Mike was here with Anthony for Bad Out of Hell.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, so we had a mini Joseph reunion.
Very good.
and the most beautiful pianist as well.
Oh.
There's that hair.
Sebastien, were you guys the babies of the entire group of brothers? Were you the youngest of the cast?
I don't know. Nick might have been the youngest. I don't think I was, but I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
just love that shot, though. It's so cute.
Yeah.
We're happy, right?
Oh,
fantastic.
Look how dark my hair is.
I think I can see that here, though.
Oh my gosh.
Gerry, you're gonna have to unmute yourself and tell us what this is.
This is a break from Potiphar, and this is when I probably didn't put my glasses back on.
I feel like we all started singing at what people started singing, and then Donnie walked in and sang the beginning of Puppy Love.
Yes,
that's right.
And there wasn't a dry seat in the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love that picture.
Shot of all of you guys.
That's a great picture.
Jeff, you need to share these.
Yeah.
I know. There are more, and I'll share them in our Facebook group.
Oh,
I'm so glad that because there's some reunions I put together and nobody has anything. So it's so great that, especially during this time, there were no selfies. I keep reminding some people who watch the show there were no, smartphones that we could use. So I thought we would play a little game called the match game. But this is a different type of this is a different type of match game.
Oh, nice.
We'll put on the music a little bit. If it's going to play at all. I just have to. I like to put a little touch to it. So with this specific match game, I thought we'd do a little high school yearbook type of match game where I will list most likely or a specific type of role, and there'll be 9 of these, and then you guys will get to tell me who will fill that position, who we should put in the Joseph yearbook as that specific position. So the first one is Chatterbox.
Gerry.
Who of
Easy, right? Easy.
Come on.
I think Patrick Clancy could give Gerry a run for his money.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
How about the pack leader?
Gerry.
Where are we going now?
I think Jerry's going to get all of these.
I do too.
How about most likely to win the lottery but lose the ticket?
Gerry.
That's a good. Yeah.
We're gonna go with Gerry on this one then.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. the best laugh.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think everybody has some good moments there. Some of my best memories are with Nicola in that corn outfit. Remember the ballet? The blue unitard. It went over the head with little slits they gave us to breathe.
Yes.
And you did some, but maybe Jocelyn, you were in that too, where you were doing stuff with the legs and the.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I have all of those.
We did so much waiting around, didn't we? With so much waiting.
Gosh, yeah.
No, I think the biggest laugh, which is this was in the show at the Palladium. I had the quick change into the naked dress, you know, the flesh color potiver. It was a very, very quick change into something, and there was just no time to be coy. And you just literally stripped everything off, didn't you? And I was standing there butt naked, and it was at the side of the stage, and I was very uncomfortable. There was this shadow. It was the same every night, every show. There was a shadow came from behind the. Yeah, and I didn't like to look behind. I thought, there's someone keeps coming and standing there while I'm taking my clothes off. And I went to the company manager, said, I'm not happy about this. There's someone keeps sort of standing where I'm doing my quick change into this naked thing. And he said, don't worry, I'll come and stand, surreptitiously behind you and make sure and see what is going on. And he did. And it got to the change. I changed, and it happened again. It turned out they were wheeling the camel off. The camel was just on the corner. The head of the camel came around. I have never felt so embarrassed in my life. Yeah, that was a great laugh. But there were so many laughs.
Singing backing vocals at the same time while you're quick changing backstage.
Oh yeah, singing while you're stripping as well. Yeah, that was all fun.
I remember Pete Chalice just making me die on this job. Pete Chalice just so funny all the time. He was one of the main culprits, holding his moustache on so it didn't peel off all the time.
How about teacher's pet?
Ooh, Nick.
Yeah.
Little Nick, yeah.
Little
Nick
Holmes.
Holmes.
You know, yeah. Innocent.
But that must have been, surely that was one of his first jobs as well, I think.
Yeah.
He was young.
Yeah, he was a lovely lad.
Yeah. How about most likely to brighten your day?
I'm going to say Amanda Courtney Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Too late.
Well, my show girlfriend was Squeezy, so I picked Squeezy.
Squeezy. Yeah.
Life of the party.
Gerry.
Gerry.
And Mama's hips, wasn't it?
And finally, most likely to sleep through an earthquake.
Ooh.
God.
I did fall asleep on set.
Nick Holmes again.
They positioned. It was during the Go-Go Joseph thing, and it was they had. I was asleep completely, and they positioned a speaker right behind my just as they started the playback, and I went, "No!" Thankfully, I wasn't on camera.
Well, they were early mornings, weren't they?
Oh yeah.
Really
Yeah.
Very early.
What time did those the girls get in to be painted in blue? It was ridiculous, wasn't it?
5:30.
And they just stood there for it. Oh, awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was.
I always wanted to be one of them. I was like, they're mermaids.
I remember them trying to. I remember the makeup artist trying to find the right blue for that particular body paint, and I think it was one of the assistants that came in. Actually, she was on Wonka doing the makeup, and I reminded her of it, and she was she found the blue for the body paint. Yeah,
I think Avatar stole that look.
Well, Martin, since you mentioned Go Go Joseph, let's take a look at this clip.
Nice. Nice.
Those costumes.
Nice.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So good. Oh,
I'll tell you a crazy
thrills.
Broadway story. When I auditioned and was offered the job, it was originally just for Pharaoh. And I said, I don't want it unless I can play Levi. And my agent was like, well, you're not getting any more money. I says, I don't care. I don't want to sit backstage all day, especially when I can't drink. So when we had done a run through for Equity, and Equity came through, and it was the Potiphar number. There was a couple of numbers that apparently my contract was in violation of, because on a principal contract, you have to be discernible. So then they took me out of those numbers. But even during the jail cell, I'm sure Gerry, you remember this, Josh, you might remember this, I would sneak on. Just, have my foot up and just like screw with people and do this and do that. Until I realized they had infrared cameras. And they saw that I was doing that every night. So
Wow.
they put a stop to that, because I would literally leave just as the lights came up and everybody drops and goes in.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Well, here's another question, our last question from the audience. What is your favorite lyric from the show? Hers is quite the smoothest person in the district.
Hmm.
My God.
My favorite is banana, banana, banana.
Banana. Yeah.
I got nothing.
You got nothing.
Do you know the when the kids sang that, that innocence and that pure sound, when I first heard that, I can't tell you what it did to me. So that was just quite a moving experience, shall we say, just to hear that innocence and just pure joy in their voice. It was just lovely. So that for me would be a aha.
I had when I was doing the great Andrew Lloyd Webber hit Stephen Ward. I actually had somebody come up to me in the cast and went, "Do you remember when we did Joseph together?" And I was like, "No." Yeah. And I was like, "No," and I was thinking, this can't be true. And he said, "Yeah, I was in the kids choir on the film," and I was like,
"Oh my gosh!"
In his Ricardo. And I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, it's you! Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Martin, before I forget, I just wanted you to know that you're my son is a huge fan of you from Superstar. Just a huge fan from the Superstar album, and just he listens to that, and anyway, he will be delighted to see you sitting there and talking and sharing.
I'm a huge fan of David. I really am. He's got an amazing voice.
Yeah.
Well, let's go through. Everybody give me one word that sums up your experience of being in Joseph. So Sebastien, we'll go right down the line. So Sebastien, you want to start us off?
Just like a dream. It was just a dream. It was very early on in my career. I think I'd been working about 4 years. And just to be at Pinewood, it was my first sort of filming experience, first thing on screen. And Pinewood is just such an incredible place, full of history. And I just kind of saw everything through rose-colored spectacles. The whole thing was just fantastic for me. Yeah, I loved it. Loved every minute.
Well, that's one word.
Yeah. Okay, I just said. I'll get
I'm
you
gonna
back
say
one day. I'll get you back one day.
I'm gonna say adventure. It was an adventure.
I'm going to say just 2 words: pure joy.
Mm.
It was just joyful, really was.
I'd say laughter.
Yeah, close to that, I think. Funny. Yeah.
For me, as gratitude, grateful to have been a part of it.
For me, it was a privilege. It was just fantastic. Just so much laughter, so much fun.
Unforgettable.
That's 2 of my words used. I was going to say joy, and then I changed it to unforgettable. Yeah, I think it was also a very surreal experience with how much talent and just the good people, everyone. It was just an amazing time.
Thank you guys so much for doing this, because and it's so wonderful to see all these comments, people watching who also grew up with it just like myself, because we had such joy just watching you. I remember being in my living room and dancing with you guys for One More Angel in Heaven, and it was just one of those things that inspired me to be a performer too. So I still haven't been in this show yet, but I would love to do it, even if I have to play a brother. So so since the 25th anniversary is technically going to be next year, let's cross our fingers that, as you guys got for Oklahoma, that this version will get its own, maybe re-release. Would be great to see it in the theater. That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
the way it's
amazing.
supposed to be seen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tammy.
Oh God,
Yeah.
an honor. Are you kidding me? Thank you so much for being a part of this. We've had so many people watching. Thank you for all your questions. If you'd like to see more interviews and reunions, just please subscribe to the channel. Share this conversation that we had this evening with friends on social media. You can follow most of us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure you can find us all on there. You can head to my website at tammytuckey.com for more information. And again, just thanks to each and every one of you for being a guest this week. It was just really an honor. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Bless you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
See you soon, everybody. And remember that any dream will do. Good evening, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Lovely to see you all.
Gorgeous. You're all gorgeous.